I'm coming back into the yard, and I actually haven't seen Annie for a while, and I just want to show you how she acts. See how excited she is because she hasn't seen me for a while. And I want to show you how she acts when you want to open that window now. Good girl. When you come back in, and because of the training and the way that we've been relating to her, there's no jumping, there's no mouthing. And actually, I was out of town for 5 days, so she hasn't seen me for a while. And this is the first time that I've interacted with her since last week. And you see, just because of all the other training you're going to see on all these video clips, the byproduct is, and if she does jump, it's just for a second, and then she'll always run away. This is like the old Annie that's dying out. Come. You call her back to you. You should do this. I put this leash on her because I think this is what you should do too. Just have some old leash that she drags around. It's going to be so much easier for you to handle her because she's already got a little leash on. She comes to you at the back door or something. You can step into her, do your little circle like this, sit, and then okay, take her in. So I just want to do this little clip to show you what she's doing here when she's super excited and happy to see you when she hasn't seen you for a while. This is what we're shooting for happening at your house. But it's the byproduct of all the other training, so we don't have all the crazy jumping and clawing and mouthing and all of that. Of course, if she was doing that, I wouldn't be petting her, but every time that she performs this way and is calm and respectful, she gets lots of attention, lots of love. So most of that jumping, you just saw one jump there, and then she also ran away after she did it because she realized she's not supposed to do that. She just kind of lost control for a second. But that dies out over time if you're not giving it attention and correcting it and struggling with her. And this behavior grows in strength because you're giving this state of mind and this behavior attention. Like if she were to jump right now or something, I would say no, the hands would go away and she would get nothing, right? But if she's being respectful and calm because she's exerting self-control, then I give her all the attention in the world, all the love in the world, and that's why this Annie is more of who she is every day, and the old Annie is fading away. Okay. Okay, so we're going to come inside now, and I always practice at the front door with her. I have her sit and wait because she had such an issue at the front door before. If she gets up, you say no. Gently but firmly put her back and make sure she does this the right way. I do this 5-6 times a day. It used to be that this front door was the crazy zone. Okay. And now it's become the calm zone because we don't let her, okay, come on this way. We don't let her pull us through anymore. We always do we're going to do it again on the way out. Sit. So this is an exercise, even if you're not leaving, you can just go back and forth, front door, back door, any doorway, really. The boundary is very important. Okay. And if you practice with boundaries like this, sit. And just to be real specific, she sits. You step through to accentuate the fact that this is your boundary, not hers. She waits until you go back to her. Okay. And you make sure that you reinforce that calm, walking through, and see the most I'm doing is just a little prompt with the leash. Come on, let's go. I guess there's specks of food on the floor or something. Come on, let's go. Come on. And then you do a little left turn. Okay. And you can have her sit. And you could do this on the outside too. Have her sit and then release her. Or if you're going to release her inside, you have her sit. No, make sure she really waits. Go. She's excited because we have a camera person right there. But come here, Annie. So never call her through that doorway. You'll destroy the whole thing. I know the old-fashioned way is like you step through first, you call the dog to you. That would destroy any kind of calmness that you're trying to develop because she'd still be rushing through the doorway. It's way harder for the dog to wait till you step back to them and walk through. They walk through with you calmly without pulling. You have them sit on the inside or on the outside and you release them from a calm sit stay. So we've added several much harder steps to that old-fashioned thing that they used to do, so that it's way harder for her to do, and she has to concentrate at a higher level to do this correctly. And you just do it everywhere possible. Gateways, curbs, doorways, everywhere. Okay, let's go. So I'm taking Annie to her mat. We're going to do a little mat exercise here. Showing you how we do it here. Have her sit, pat her chest and say, go to your mat. And then you say, down. And you do this little exercise where she stays in a down stay. Good. While you reward her. And you start doing very simple things like just a down stay, for example. Walking around both ways, just simple down stay. And by the way, whatever she does on the mat, if you handle her the proper way, she'll do this without the mat as well. Good, she'll do it out in public, which you'll see us doing as well. But this is from day one, this is the first exercise I did with her. Make sure that you're delivering the food in a very specific way, which is she waits. Good, you put it on the mat, she takes it off the mat. Never touching your hands, never, grabbing your hands. This is all about her being respectful of you. And good, really waiting until you place it there and withdraw. So you're not throwing the food down. It's very deliberate. You're calm and normally just acting normal. Good. Always say good when she takes the food because you want her to associate that word in a good way. So timing's very important. You say the word when she takes the food. So once you've kind of warmed her up by doing the simple stuff, you can drop the leash and start doing things that are harder for her to handle. So I'm going to walk past the camera here, and I'm going to go in the back here, out of her sight. I'm going to come back. And she knows she doesn't get up until I release her in a very specific way. So the whole point of this exercise, good, is that she develop a high level of focus, and no matter where I go, what noises I make, what distractions I create, there's only one way she gets off that mat, and that's when I release her in the very specific way, which we're going to do at the end, of course. So I'm going to go in the back of the house now, close the door behind me into the hallway, and make some more noise. Close this door behind me, knock on this door in the hallway, come back, she's still there. Good. She gets a reward. Good. So that was obviously pretty easy for her. Of course, we've been practicing a lot. Sometimes when you sit down on furniture, it's an invitation for the dog to come over to you. So we've been practicing this a lot. Good. Good. Maybe I need to sit down over here and be a little bit more animated. Good. So she knows no matter how triggered she is to maybe jump up and come over to me, I didn't release her yet, so she has to stay focused and calm. Good, through any kind of distraction. So all that was pretty easy. So now I'm going to try the hard stuff. Leave her alone in my living room and go outside. So if you're ever going to do something that you think is difficult for her to handle, it's okay for you to remind her down before you do it. I'm going to knock on the door. Good. Good. Try something else. Good. So we know her, good, her previous problems in the front door area, being super excited when you have visitors, or even when you come home, being disrespectful, jumping all over and, biting and all this kind of stuff she did when I first met her. So you do this exercise in that area, or whatever area she was formerly out of control in, and you'll see her be calmer over time in that area just when she's on free time. So you should definitely do this like I'm doing in my house near your front door, so that she learns to be calm when people are coming through the door. Like obviously in this exercise, I'm going in and out of this door a lot, and she's not jumping up, she's not going crazy. Good, there's no more biting at all. So now I'm gonna do everything all at once. Bang on the windows, mess with the mail flap, ring the doorbell, and knock on the door all at once, everything all together. It's a lot of noise, a lot of distraction. Good, I gave her a double reward because that was really exceptional, and she stayed there through all of that. So those are just some basic examples of the things that she can do now and that she can stay focused through when you do them. And in your house, in everybody's house, there's always different things that you can do. And there's probably, hundreds of things you could think of to try to work on, new things that you could do to distract her, maybe things that she's not good at. Because you do want to, find something new where she can't handle it, and then you work on that. Like maybe you pull her like this. Good. Well, she knows she's not supposed to get up, so good. When the dogs first come here, because people have always been pulling their dog, you pull on the leash and the dog gets up and comes over to you. So you can tell that she's got a real solid downstay now because she knows that I didn't release her, so she's not going to come to me. Good. So just try to figure out at your house, once she's perfect with all this other stuff that you can do, try to figure out something that triggers her to get up so you can work on that. Because every time you work on a new distraction that she couldn't handle and you get over it and she can handle it, then you made her a lot better. So just keep on trying to push the envelope a little bit more and more. The only way she ever gets up is when you come and stand next to her, pat your leg and say, okay. And in this case, sit. Gonna have her sit because I'm gonna let her have some free time outside. I'm gonna do the front door thing again. So we always do this at every boundary. It's one of the reasons why she's so much calmer these days. Okay. Make sure that you just reinforce that, just some little taps as you walk through to make sure she's not pulling you. On the outside, sit, and release her to be free on the outside. Go. Give her a little free time. Sit. So I'm going to show you this little crate routine that we do with Annie every day. Now this is not her crate and this is not where her crate has been, but because this is a bigger room and there's more light, this is where we're doing the film. So she may kind of hesitate because she's never, or maybe not. She's never gone in a crate in this room before, but we'll see. She loves her crate. So you want to have her sit and wait as you open the door. See how I'm keeping the leash loose? If she does get up, you just do that, but it's always a pop and release. You never restrain her. If you restrain her, she's going to get stressed out and the training's going to fall apart. So you communicate through these little signals like this. So you open that door with your right hand. She's on your left. With your right hand, go. Send her in. I'm going to give her a little help there, and then she's going to turn around to face you, of course. And look what happens when she turns around to face you. Treat. Why wouldn't she love to go in there every time? And then inside, that's where I take off her leash. Of course, we're not using any special collar because she hates to have a collar put on her, so we're just dealing with, using a regular collar, doing all the training, no special equipment. And basically, the crate, with her stay here with us, she's been sleeping every night, overnight in the crate. The only difference between your house and ours is that she's always had a couple other dogs in the same room next to her in crates, so she's never alone. So at first she might have a little crying and whimpering while she gets used to doing that at your house, but of course if it's in your bedroom, you're going to be there with her. But that will settle in, and throughout the day, she's in and out constantly, and we always do it like that. We have her sit, send her in, just like you saw. Let's say she's been in there for half an hour, 45 minutes. I want to take her outside. We always do the same thing. Open the door. I got the leash ready. Go in with a treat first. She's munching out on a little treat, some of that Natural Balance sausage. And with my other hand, I go in and hook her up. Simple as that. And if she tries to come out before you release her, you say no. Do this little, what I call a token slam. Make sure she waits. And I also do this exercise where I practice, once I have the leash on, I practice standing up, stepping back. When she waits, good. It's all about the boundary. It's all about you controlling the boundary. And when you control boundaries like the doorway to her den, which that is her den, the doorway in and out of your house, gateways, any doorway or boundary, if you control those boundaries, and anybody can do that, here, look, good. you're the boss. It makes you the boss in their eyes. So you become dominant without ever having to be rough and tough and correct, which that doesn't work well anyway. So always control the boundary. Make sure she waits until you pat your leg and say, okay, and she'll come out. You just do this little circle. You're always, of course, whenever you've got her next to you, you're always doing a left turn. So you turn into her, come back, close that door, because this door is always closed. Remember, she needs your permission to go inside, just like we showed you. She needs your permission to come out. So this door is always closed. It's never open. And then we'll just take her outside again. The same routine. Sit. Notice I did a left turn there to point her in front of the front door. I had her sit, do the same thing, the step out thing, always throughout the day. Okay. Outside, sit, and go. 3 times. Sit. So see how she's looking at me, eye contact? Good. She's very excited right now. She's having a great time. Having her sit. Doing a little sit stay. There is no stay, of course. You don't say stay. When you say sit, it means to stay, so you don't have to say that. And we never repeat the command. So if I had said sit, no jumping up either. Good. If I had said sit and she didn't do it, I just would have pulled up with a little bit of pressure and her butt would have gone down. And you can always step away, walk around. You can even drop the leash if you're in a fenced yard and walk farther away. She knows to stay there until she's released. And then you always give her a reward. Good. When you come back next to her, she's waiting for you to come back and stand next to her. Look up in your eyes. You put the reward by your eyes, so she's actually looking at you. Good. When you give her the reward, and and you always say good when you say it. When you give her the reward, you always say good at the very moment. So good, just like that. And then she's waiting for you to release her. And in this case, I'm going to release her and have her walk with me. And you come back, stand next to her, pat your leg and say, okay. And she knows that she'll walk with you. Down. And if she hesitates at all, you probably saw I just kind of raised my foot a little bit. And just like sit with down, there's no stay. Good. So basically, when you're doing a down stay, just wherever, you should probably pick a like flat surface, not grass, not dirt, just more of a hard flat surface, like cement or blacktop or something like that, because it'll be a lot more comfortable for her. And then also, you just pretend like you're doing the mat exercise. It's the same thing. You always reward her between her feet like that. Good. She waits until you withdraw and takes it off the ground. She's not allowed to get up until you actually release her. Good. So you can do things like in a fenced, secure yard like I'm in now. You can drop the leash and walk farther away. You can, I'm going to do a giant circle around her. You can practice a lot of things in your backyard. If she gets up, you say no. Stay calm. Take that leash. Most likely she's going to put herself back anyway. And you go and you just do the whole thing over again. And if you have to do this 3 or 4 or 5 times, she needs to know that you mean business and you're not going to give up. So I'm going to walk in this big circle again. This time I'm going to get a success because she gets it now. All the way back to where I started, and she gets a big reward because she did it the right way. Good. So you're never doing any training without the leash, of course, because she's not off leash, and no dog goes off leash training until they're perfect on leash first. So, like I said, if you said down and she doesn't do it, you lift your left foot and just do this and she'll go right down. If she's next to you and she didn't go down, you just do this and she'll go right down. And then when you're going to release her, she's waiting for you to come back and stand next to her. You pat your leg and say, okay, and then have her sit. Because you see, if I didn't have her sit, you see how if you release a dog out of a downstay, how they pop up and they want to run off? The whole idea is that you do this in a way that makes her calm. So when you're releasing her out of a downstay, you say okay, and then you have her sit and you release her from a calm down sit stay. So we released her, we had her sit, and now, nope, don't let her touch your hand. Now I'm going to pat her chest and say, nope, pat her chest, nope. Make sure you don't let her touch your hand, and if you have to reset her, reset her. We have a motorcycle going back and forth out in front, it's kind of distracting her. Go. That's how you release her out of a downstay. Say okay, have her sit, and then release her from a calm sit stay. Just want to show you how I've been practicing her recall, her come command, and I'm going to break it down to step by step how I do it. Left hand leash, just put this loop, you got a 6-foot leash, put the loop, put your hand through the loop, and then your right hand has a treat which you grab out of your reward, your pouch, reward pouch, and you have the reward in your hand, and it's this Natural Balance, and we're using a Natural Balance lamb flavored. And I always call her when I'm practicing this, I always call her when she's at least looking away from me. So if she's staring at me, I'm going to create a distraction and say, go, and then come, call her away from that. Good. So if she knows what I'm about to do and she won't stop staring at me, you need to have her be paying attention to something else as you call her, because that's what's going to happen in real life. She's going to be moving away from you, she's going to be interested in something else, she hears the command, she breaks away, comes back to you. So if this keeps happening, go, come, call her back to you. Good. And notice how I back away. When you back away, she's drawn to you. She can't help herself. She'll go wherever you go. Good. And you're always calling her to this target. It's a fist, okay? Not a half open hand. It's just make a fist. There's a little reward in there. You say, come. Her nose touches that. It opens. You give her the reward and say good at the same moment. And then take the leash with your left hand. Simple as that. Go. So let's do it again. We'll put it all together. Create a distraction, go. Come, see how I'm backing away? Good. She touches my fist, it opens, she gets the reward, I say good, and I grab this with my other hand, because then I have her. Step into her, have her sit, and then she's on the clock and you can walk her off. Okay. So we're out in public, in a very public place with a lot going on. We're doing a greeting routine with Annie. Show the dog behind us. He's been excited, jumping around and wanting to get to Annie, and Annie sees him. So this is a very tough situation for her. And I know she had problems with dogs before at gateways and fenceways and stuff. Nope. And she's never met this person. Good. So I'm going to send her over. Go say hi, give her the treat. Gonna call her to come. So Annie had a big problem with jumping on people, so we've been practicing this greeting routine a lot with different people. Sit, so that she would learn to show the dog. So she would learn to be calmer and not jump all over people when she met them. Treat. Send her over. Go say hi. Good. She gets petted. Come. Go say hi. Good. Come. Good. So this is the way that you're going to do your greeting routine with people. Have her sit. Give the person a treat. And she gets a pet as she gets a treat, because we want to get rid of this whole nipping thing that she had as well. Go. Good. Come. And you just do that with as many people as possible. Sit. She's getting much better. At least she's not jumping anymore and she's not grabbing at people's hands so much. So you keep practicing this, and over time she gets better and better. Okay.